For the Quiché Indians of Guatemala, centuries of poverty have left a painful scar. Infectious disease, alcoholism, and the highest chronic malnutrition rate in the Western Hemisphere. Changing that cycle is a God-sized task, a task that North Carolina Baptist men and women have chosen to undertake, with the help of volunteers, missionaries, and local workers from surrounding villages, as they construct the Quiché Health Clinic and Training Center.
The indigenous people, they live more on the rural areas. And the problem is that they don't have access even to good roads. They don't have access to any of the health care.
The Quiché people are really a mountainous, almost refugee people. They become sort of sharecroppers on the side of a mountain growing corn and trying to live on that. They tend to have a lot of trouble with disease because of malnutrition. Up to 80% of the rural Guatemalans are malnourished. We found we can really help them a lot with nutritional supplements, vitamins, and then instructing the parents how to care for their children.
In an effort to meet the needs of the Quiché Indians, a facility is being constructed to provide medical care for the community. It will also be used to train community health evangelists and serve as housing for volunteers.
The clinic will be a source of training for these community health evangelists that will be able to go out into the villages and do some basic sanitation and health education. And they teach the mothers how to care for a sick child, when the child needs to go to the doctor, and then also some nutritional components to the education. And that often leads to Bible studies, and then before you know it, you have a church that's planted. So the medical, we really are a holistic ministry. We really want to not only help them physically, but spiritually. And so the center will be a tool to use to reach far-reaching areas. It'll also be a home base for our mobile medical clinics, which will be able to go out with the use of vans and trucks and go up into the mountains and take our supplies and medications with them.
We are in Pachipac, in the department of Sololá. I am Quiché and I want to help my people. I enjoyed to be a professional nurse, to help all the people here and other communities with the health, and especially to show to the people the Lord.
Medical clinics are a great way to meet the needs of the community while showing the love of Christ. It provides an opportunity to teach basic health care as well as sharing the gospel, and the construction of this training center will give more people the skills to do that. The Quiché culture is very close to outsiders, so it is important for us to reach our own people. If they can see another Quiché has already made the decision to follow Jesus, it gives them more confidence to do the same.
For the training center to be completed, volunteers will be needed for the months to come. Stonemasons, electricians, painters, carpenters, anyone willing to be the hands and feet of Jesus are needed to finish the task. Built with adobe, honoring a traditional Guatemalan style, the Quiché Health Clinic and Training Center will transform the region. Medical clinics, along with healthcare evangelists, will minister to the physical and spiritual needs of people in desperate situations. In addition, pastors from surrounding villages will have an opportunity to study the Bible, an experience for some that is traditionally out of reach.
Many of the Guatemalans cannot afford to go to seminary or even a Bible school. Even a high school education is somewhat unusual. But, fortunately the gospel is easy to understand. They can be trained and learn the principles of the gospel and evangelism, and they can be trained there at the center. I was amazed as I read the Gospel of Luke how many times Jesus in his ministry first of all dealt with the physical need and then dealt with their spiritual need. And that was just so implanted in my mind that that's really what I'd like to see this clinic about, and using Jesus as the model for how this would happen.
Volunteer construction teams will be needed through the middle of 2014. For more information, visit baptistonmissions.org.